Okay guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about this saw. Do you guys know the name of this saw? Does it look familiar? It should, because it's probably one of the most popular camping bushcrafting type saws out there. Now, I don't want this video to be long because there's probably 100 other reviews on this saw, but I felt inclined to just offer my input on the saw. So a little bit of background on the saw. This saw is made by Bahco. It's called the Bahco Laplander, and I want to say they're made in Sweden. In my opinion, the reason these are popular amongst the bushcrafting community is bushcrafting, not woodcrafting, but bushcrafting is based, it has European roots. It's a European term, it's a European hobby that was brought over to the US. The reason Mora knives and Bahco Laplanders go hand in hand with bushcrafting, in my opinion, just from kind of what I've seen and read, is they're both made in Sweden, and bushcrafting is really common in the Nordic countries, Sweden, Germany, England, all those European countries. So I think that's why it became so prolific. Now, overall, this isn't a bad saw. I want to stipulate that right away. It's not a bad saw, but just because it's super common, it doesn't mean that it's good. What does that mean? I'm not saying this is a horrible saw. It's constructed fairly durable. It has a nice rugged, non-flexing blade. Has a pretty durable blade coating. I'm kind of impressed. And the handle is comfortable. The handle is made out of plastic. So not only does plastic tend to be lighter, but in cold weather, it doesn't steal tons of heat from your hand. So even if you're wearing a pair of winter gloves, if you're holding onto something metal in one hand and something aluminum in one hand and this plastic in the other hand, your hand holding the aluminum or the steel will get cold really quickly. With this, not as quickly. So that might be beneficial to you. With that being said, plastic, now I haven't encountered it with this saw, but with other plastic folding saws from other companies, I have been using them in cold weather and broke the handles. That hasn't happened with this saw to me personally. Maybe it has happened. This is really similar to a Mora knife. And what I mean by that is it's not the greatest knife out there, but at least they used to be inexpensive. I checked online, these are 30 bucks. When I got this, it was like $15. But they're not the best thing out there, but they're budget friendly. They don't cut the most efficient, but they're budget friendly. They're durable, just like Mora knives. But the question always comes up, or not the question, but the demand. I want something that cuts more efficient. I want something that's more durable, and that's where other saws come into play. I'll be straight up and honest with you. This saw does not cut efficiently. It cuts very slowly. It's very energy consuming. It consumes a lot of energy. But this saw is durable, proven, and inexpensive, just like Mora knives. So if you're in the market for a low-priced folding saw to throw in a bug out bag or to make a bushcrafting kit with, this might be a good option. But I'm not going to do any cutting tests because I've tested this saw thoroughly. I have footage, and I'll try and link the video down below, and you can go watch that video. I compare this against other saws, and you need to understand the saws are different sizes, but even when you calculate like per inch how quickly it cut, this saw always fails. It failed all my tests. Like for example, if you had a bow saw with a 7-inch blade, the bow saw would cut quicker than this. If you want something that isn't as durable, but it cuts more efficiently, maybe consider Corona or Silky saws. This is the Silky Gomboy 240. I understand it's a little bit bigger. If you want something equal size, maybe the Pocket Boy 170 or the F170 or the F180. The F180 has a 180 millimeter blade. So I think that comes out to like 7.5 inches or something. Just remember, silky saws, they'll be a little bit more expensive. They cut quicker and faster, but their blades are a little bit weaker. In defense of that, because you'll be using a silky saw way less actual time used cutting because it cuts more efficiently. The amount of hours you put on that saw will be cut down. So say this, for example, say this blade will last 50 hours of straight sawing use. A silky saw, say it only lasts 30 hours. The silky saw will be able to, how should I put it? It cuts so much more efficiently that you'll use it for so many less hours. I'll have to go back and look at my testing footage because I did different tests, so I timed everything. But like this Gone Boy, I want to say it cut in like say 20 seconds, and it took this like 2 minutes. So this cuts far quicker. So the amount of wood, say you'll be able to process 10 cords with this in the time it takes you to process 1 cord with this. But just keep in mind too, how much wood are you going to process in a survival situation, or in a bug out situation? How many campfires are you really going to make? How many wilderness shelters are you really going to make? Maybe in your bug out bag you have a tent or a tarp, so you don't need to make a wilderness type shelter. Maybe in your bug out bag you have a jet boil or some type of fuel stove or a little biomass stove, so maybe you'll never be making a huge campfire. This saw might be just fine for that. When it comes to bug out bags and stuff like that, I like trying to get peak efficiency for my weight. So per ounce, you could say. I want kind of the highest efficiency per ounce, generally speaking, to a point. I understand there's a cutoff point. This saw doesn't meet those criteria for me, personally. But in the end, I don't know how much or what else to say about this saw that hasn't been said already.